Hey guys, so here goes nothing. This is gonna be probably a couple of part series doing the tear down because I'm gonna leave it apart overnight. That might be a bad idea, but hopefully the video will show me where everything goes. So I got an assortment of tools here based on looking at the screws and the marker and the videos on YouTube. Now I'll give credit where credit is due. DK, Daniel Spencer, he just recently did a 2-part series. Modern Intel has a very good video. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, Masacra? I think it's a Spanish fellow that did a very detailed part by part assembly, should I say, video. And also Jeff McKay from Less Lethal T4e 50 cal and 68 cal, something. I don't know, the name's kind of long, even it eludes me, and I'm an admin there. So, but they've all done a video. I've learned a little bit from all of them. And I'm gonna put what I've learned into my own video. So, assortment of tools. I got a multi-bit screwdriver. I have Torx bits. Don't mind the security bit, that's for something else. The hole in the middle, you just need Torx bits. It's my understanding this marker is metric. If there are any Allen heads in here, I do have a set of Allen keys here. I don't believe there are any. Good news is Torx bits are one size fits all. There's no metric version, at least not that I know of, but yeah, so Torx bits, multi-bit screwdriver. I brought my snap ring pliers, so when I encounter the valve here, delete the block, I'm not sure what I'm gonna run into. It looked like 2 holes like you normally would on a T4e or a Umarex type marker, but they looked a little differently shaped. So I got this and some obviously multiple bits that fit in this so I don't screw up that that cap. Phillips, a bigger flathead because I don't know, you guys know these multi-bits are kind of so I just brought a bigger flathead and a skinny flathead, my eyeglass Phillips screwdriver, and a punch to knock the pins out. Oh, and the most important thing of all, right? Pre-warning, this video is going to be long and boring, but if you want to know how to take it apart, you're going to need patience. So yeah, that's important. So I like to go at this methodically. Oh, you know what else I forgot? I got my cigarette. I got a drink. It's Friday. I like to go at it methodically and remove all the junk that I don't need. So I'm going to do my best to keep it in video because I have it zoomed in a little bit more than I've seen other people doing. So I'm going to kind of be shifting back and forth just to keep what I'm doing in focus here. So obviously, first things first, you don't need your buttstock or that tightening pin. So I'm just going to set that aside. The next thing that you can take off is your flash hider, your muzzle, whatever you want to call it. Take that off, set it aside. You can also remove your load feed tube cap. Remove your spring, boing, and your follower. Just like that. Set them aside. All right. The next easiest thing, you know what? And here I go with Allen keys that I said I don't think I needed any. It is an Allen key to remove your grip. So the easiest thing these are kind of just knocking off the easy things. So there are 2 Phillips screws here, 1 on each side. There is an Allen key down the center of your grip, and then this plucks right off. So we'll go with the, I'm looking at this. These particular Phillips aren't eyeglass size. I'm expecting these eyeglass sizes are gonna be on the, sort of the internal skeleton there. So remove these guys first. Not a power tools kind of guy, if you haven't noticed from most of my videos, so I know it's a little bit slower, but I like to be methodical and, well, there's a bit of OCD in there too, but I got this issue with little screws with too many ugga-duggas. Okay, so I got those 2 Phillips out. Next, I'm going to go, I'm just gonna throw something down here. This marker is long, and this little mat that I got here isn't quite long enough, and I don't wanna, I don't know, bugger it up somehow. So 2 Phillips are out. I'm guessing it is going to be a 3mm Allen key for the grip, but we'll see here in a second. It's dark down there. No, I don't think so. Should have brought a flashlight, actually. Okay, let's try. Might have to go get a flashlight. The one thing I didn't bring here. Let's see. What is this? What have I got here? Okay, it is a 4mm Allen to unscrew the grip here. You can see I just left my picker or my load ramp in place. It's probably gonna fall out here when I undo it anyways, but whatever. Again, if you're not sure, this is the first time taking this apart, so I may have to refer to my own video to put it back together. For those that aren't in need of filming it while they're doing it, or if you want to film yourself doing it, I mean, and refer to it as reference when you're reassembling, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but pictures help too. Done that a lot. Other markers, okay, I think I got it loose there. Oh, not quite. I don't know how long this guy is. Okay, it sounds like it's loose now. So try to plop this out of here. Nope. I've been loosening this thing. Okay, I'm gonna take the loading ramp out. Let's just see what's going on down here. It's just still going. I think, there we go, I heard it kind of unlock there. There we go. So your grip comes off. Inside here, that's your little, how do you call it, your feed ramp retainer or some jazz like that. I'm going to leave, now I already made a mistake of pulling this guy out of there. I'll leave this screw, this Allen head in here. Of course. What have you done? There we go. I recommend leaving that screw in there. There you go. Don't touch the safety. Obviously there's a screw in there, but you don't need to mess with that. So set that aside. Careful not to lose your screw in there. Pardon me, I'm just gonna grab a towel. So because I'm keeping this overnight and you heard those little rats barking, I'm gonna use just a Tupperware container and a towel. And I like to put the towel in the box like that. So that I can close the lid, and we got cats too, and the cats are, Ray, be quiet. The cats are notorious for stealing stuff, so, okay. Grip is off. Next, I'm just gonna move all these tools out of the way. You don't need to see all this now. I need more space here. You can see this thing's long, obviously, so. Oh, did I mention that? 4mm was the Allen key to take the grip off. Okay, we'll set that aside. Next is the pump handle. It uses push pins to keep it fastened to the marker. Now, I need a flashlight here. Smallest flashlight I could find. So I'm looking at this. I can see serrations on, so if I'm looking down the marker, it would be on the left-hand side. I can see serrations on this side. And I don't see serrations on this side, so that tells me I need to push from this side out to the other side. So I'm just gonna put this towel under here just to get them started. I need my punch pin here and some patience. You can see it didn't take much effort to knock those out. All right. So you can just push them out now. Boop. 1, 2. So it's just the 2 pins holding the pump handle on. Set those aside. And the handle should come right off. Comes off. There you go. I'm quickly gonna run out of table space here. All right, what do we gotta do next? So, I need a drink. That's what I need. My understanding is these 2 Allen heads here on the top rail, you don't need to remove. You need to remove the 2 most rearward ones. Then you need your Torx here, and let's see what size Torx we got. I'm gonna guess, what is that? I don't even know what that is. Oh, too big. Still too big. It is a T15 Torx. So you need to remove those 2 screws, 2 Torx screws, these 2 Torx screws, and this flathead at the front, and this, we'll call it a hand guard, will come off along with the top rail as long as you undo these 2 top Allen heads here. So what I will do first is the Torx. I said T15. And they're not very tight. Remember that when you're putting this stuff back together. Just snug stuff down. we all know Umarex, you know, parts is a disaster with them. You're essentially destined to buy another marker if you really bugger something up. I haven't heard any real good stories coming out of, aside from sending your entire marker in. But for us more handy guys, where you can identify a problem and all you want to do is get the part, fix it, they're not allowing that. All right, so next is, so I got those 2 screws out on both sides. I'm gonna take this flathead out on this side here. And let's see which one fits best. Here's probably my big fat flathead. Oh yeah, that one fits nice. I don't need to unscrew that all the way. There you go. So take the flathead out of the end, the 2 Torx out of the shroud, handguard, and then we need to do these top 2 Allen bolts. Where did I put my keys? There they are. I'm looking at those. They look like a 2.5 millimeter. Nope. I'm off today, guys. What do we got here? It is a, well, let's just make sure it is. It looks like a 2 millimeter. No, did I grab the wrong key there? Maybe I did. 2.5. It is a 2.5. So 2.5 millimeter Allen key. I can't stress enough, get some metric Allen keys. Don't do this. Don't do this with imperial keys. You're gonna regret it. All right. And one more here. I'll tell you guys something while I'm doing this today. I had to replace a door handle in a Peterbilt today. My own personal truck, actually. Boy, they don't build them like that anymore. It was like an armored car underneath that plastic door. There was another layer of aluminum and another layer with about 1 million screws holding it together. So I've had my share of screws today. So these don't frighten me at all right now. Maybe tomorrow when I have to put them all back in. This one is, it's just being a bastard because my screwdriver is not magnetic. Let me grab a magnet here. Okay, I'm just gonna use a magnet to go whoop. Or not, come on. There we go. These neo magnets are good for a lot of things. So those 2 screws are out. 2 top rail screws, 4 Torx, 2 on each side, and a flathead on the front. Didn't even have to touch the sights here, and this should just pull right off. I like that. Look at that. So you can keep that all in one piece. Beauty. Okay, set that aside. Now, gotta take this front rail off, or what do you call it? I don't know. It's a barrel band, I guess you could call it. To do that, gotta remove these 2 O-rings on the front. And then just slide this barrel band off like that. Oh, I should mention, because I just found it. Some of these parts are retained by a nut. a small machine screw nut like that. In this case, this handguard has a nut just like that, where the flat head goes to the other side. So be careful of these. There's going to be some inside the skeleton here. For instance, let me just put this one down here. For instance, one of them is going to be in this grip area here. That's what secures your grip on. So be aware of those. I will point them out as I see fit. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm just putting some parts away here because see the cats lurking in the background, and you know what they see is this. The cats love springs. Like, it's like an obsession with them. Okay. What do we got next? So pretty much strip this down. All the easy stuff is off. Next step is breaking this shell. This external shell off the marker itself. I'm looking here, now it looks like this is where my eyeglass screwdriver is going to come into play. There is a Phillips, a small eyeglass Phillips here. And there's another Phillips eyeglass in here. There's one here on the other side, opposite of each other. And there is one right here. Oh, and there's another one here at where the grip frame, or sorry, the grip actually fastens to. So we'll just start on the side I'm on here. Eyeglass screwdriver. Invaluable, you get a very good one, not one of those junky dollar store ones. And push hard. These things are just notoriously easy to strip. Okay, for now I'm going to leave them all in their respective locations. I think I might make another part video where actually, and this is the reason why I want to leave this torn down, is actually lay out all the screws in the different sizes, because I know it would be beneficial. Somebody out there, oh, there's another one there. It'd be beneficial. Somebody out there is gonna screw it up, and well, it could be me. You know, maybe these screws are all the same. I haven't noticed anybody actually pointing that out yet. So it's something I'd like to point out, because you know, when you got extra screws at the end, it's easy to figure out where they go if they're all the same, right? Okay, all the screws are off on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I don't even know if I can crack that yet. I think there's, I'm looking here, what am I missing? No, I can. So you can split the clamshell like that. Carefully set that aside, all the screws in. You get your first look at the inside. Oh, and you can see the sling ring fell off there, or came off, so I'll just set that aside. Pardon my drink breaks and smoke breaks in between. So at this point, doesn't look like anything is gonna fall out. Oh, there it is. There it is, right there. That's gonna fall out. That is another machine screw nut. That is the one that secures the grip, screws into and secures itself. So we'll set that aside. And we will roll this over. Grab these screws on the other side. So we got one here at the rear. And that's it, I think. screw fell out there. I don't see any other screws. Yep, it's just the one on that, side. So put it back in there for now. Just like that. All right, oh, and there's the other sling ring. These would appear to be identical, so it doesn't seem important if they're swapped side for side, but I can see, I don't know much about slings, so I see this kind of wallowed out area, sort of like a different impression on there. You can see it, they're both matching, but the way it was installed on the marker was with this kind of teardrop at the bottom. Like that. I don't know if it makes any difference, but something to note. Okay, next thing. I know these are gonna drive me bonkers here. Pardon me, I'm just putting aside my pieces here. Oops. You guys, chill. So I'm just kind of putting some towels down in my case here, just a bit anal about scratches and stuff. So I'm trying to protect all these parts because I'm kind of stacking them up in that Tupperware container I showed you earlier. So, next thing. There is, at this point, so there was that one little machine screw that you could lose, but at this point, once you get it down to here, there doesn't appear to be anything else that's gonna fall off. Now, I gotta move some of these tools here. From what I understand, you don't actually have to separate anything with this, with the slide. You can kind of, so we're gonna try and do this here. Hopefully you can catch this on video. You just gotta kind of pry this slide apart slightly. Slide it off, at least that's how I imagined it. Bear with me, I'm still trying to look at what's going on here. Yes, so you can just pry these two pieces apart, gently of course, and slide them off the end of your marker. Now, as I'm doing this, you can't see this out of sight, out of camera, but I can see there's a little spring here. And again, I did that gently. You don't want to pry these things right apart. Oh, see, that spring does come out of there. So, it's obviously some sort of return spring. Whoops. It's a compression spring. It looks like it has it's like a fat bottom girl with the, I can't remember what you call it, cylindrical, I can't, whatever. Anyway, so, looks like the fat end goes into this hole here. So be careful you don't lose that. And make sure it's oriented correctly. So fat end in here, skinny end, and it's very subtle, but it's there. So I'm gonna take the slide and set it aside. And what we're left with here is the clamshell or exo cage. An exo cage would be on the outside, but technically it can still be an exo cage on the inside, I guess. So your next feat here is to split this clamshell, much like your regular HDP 50s and HDRs and so on and so forth. So eyeglass screwdriver here. I see one on this side. I'm looking closely here. Yeah, I just see the one Phillips here. And on the other side, I see a whole bunch more. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I miss someone? Let's do it again. Well, let's go from south, north to, well, no, to you guys. To me, it's south to north. So, well, let's go north to south because it sounds better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10, plus 1 on the other side, so 11 in total. And let's get started. They're not really super happy about the first time they want to come out. So like I said, make sure you add some pressure, some downward pressure on these. I don't know these are going to stay in their respective locations. Well, we'll try. You know, now I just thought of something. I think it makes sense to start on the side with the most screws. And the reason for that is, if I do recall, that single screw on the other side just retains the air chamber. So, obviously we started on that side. Now, I don't know. I can't say for sure. Maybe it would have been good to undo that one first. That way I don't have to actually tip this over to get at it, but at the same time I can still peel this exo cage off here. There's one kind of hidden here. I don't know what you call this. This isn't the sear. Well, maybe it is. No, that sear's in there. I'm not sure what this is. Some sort of actuating arm. So there's one kind of hidden in there. I think that's the one you don't want to forget, probably. Hopefully this shell is a lot easier to break open than the other ones. I hate prying on these things. I mean, this cast it's not gonna bust that easy, but it's just a pet peeve of mine. Trying to wedge things open. Oh, that's what I don't have. Oh wait, I do. I have one here. Is my pry tools, my non-marring pry tools. Oh, she came out. Last one. Oh no, second to last one. Man, you guys. If I didn't have to videotape this, I'd probably be a little more proficient. But, yeah, whatever. started this channel now, I gotta finish it. Can't just leave you guys hanging. I know, and you know what? And there's some good videos out there doing this right now. Nevertheless, I gotta do one just to say I did it. Okay, all 10 screws are undone on this side of the clamshell. Let's see what we got here. I see a really good price, but there. Oh yeah, she cracked easy. So let's see if I can tip that over a little bit. Right in the end of the CO2, there's kind of a gap there. You can already see I don't want to tip this over too far because all the screws are loose. She peeled open really quickly there. That's good. Hopefully I don't have to stick a bunch of jazz in there. Oh yeah, she's coming really easy. Beat it, kitty. Uh-oh, cats are nearby. Carefully, without losing all those screws. Okay, so you saw what happened there? Whatever actuating arm this is fell out of place. And there's a big wad of grease on the other side there. There's a spring attached to it. I'm gonna try and just leave it like that, just so oh no, that ain't gonna work. Okay, well, any case, that spring has to fit in that little location there when you're reassembling. Set that aside. I'm running out of space very quickly here. Don't you touch anything. Awkward pause. Had to get another towel. I'll just show you guys kind of what I'm doing here. So I'm stacking the parts as they kind of move along, and I'm just laying, I got some microfibers that I just lay over and next layer and continue on. So I didn't really plan for that. That's why I keep having to leave. Now, I'm getting close to where I'm gonna cut this part. Decisions. Okay, we're gonna keep going just a little bit further. So, you got your clamshell off here, or exo cage, whatever you wanna call it. We've exposed all the inside here. There is another. Yeah, that's good, I kept going. Okay, so I can see a Phillips screw here. That's retaining your 2 times 12 gram CO2 cylinder. There is a little nut right here. You guys see that? That would be, oh, and another one over here. Oh, pull the barrel out. What have I done? Oh no, that's fine, guys. Just messing with you. I'll just leave it like that for now. There's another nut here. So these 2 nuts would be the ones that hold your top rail in place. So for the sake of my own, I'm gonna remove them. They're smaller than those other nuts, so I don't think you would mix these up. But if you forgot to put them in, damn, that'd be a shame. Put this whole thing back together and it would work, but you couldn't fasten your top rail down. Well, I guess there's a couple of Torx screws that hold here, but yeah, that wouldn't be good, guys. So if you do take them out, remember to put them back in. Set those aside. I see a spring here. Probably is gonna fall out at some point. And it's got a plunger on it. What have we here? So, it's got some sort of ball plunger. Now, the ball plunger goes down. This spring doesn't appear to have any unusual shape, so yeah, we'll just keep it in there for now. There's another spring there. Looks like it might come flying out. You got your sear spring here. This looks like a trigger return spring here that's wedged just below your sear spring. I don't know what this is, but there's a spring there. There's two. That's what this thing over here looks exactly like that one. So what they do, I don't know yet. So this looks almost, well, it is. They look identical here. Let's see if I can kind of. So what that does, I'll figure it out off camera when I kind of evaluate more what's going on. So then you got your sear, your air chamber, trigger, your bolt. This is your bolt, and this black piece, it's hard to probably differentiate on camera. The bolt right now is jammed right up against this. Oh no, it's not, sorry. What is that? Oh, it's just a mark in it. This is your bolt guide. Bolt stop. My experience dealing with the Umarex markers, the other style, this spring under full compression is exactly the same width as this stop. So these two kind of work in tandem. When the spring's fully compressed, your bolt is also hitting this stop. It's a good thing, I think. You know, it's kind of like a double up on the safety, so your bolt doesn't run into the barrel. I don't know, but it seems good. I like redundant systems. So there's another spring here. Don't know what that does yet. It looks to be cylindrical, so it doesn't look like if it pops out, it's gonna be doing any harm yet. No, it's one size, both ends. We got our brass tube here. Your cylinder, your indicator. I'm calling this indicator chamber. Transfer tube, and then your air chamber. Barrel to dent. This is sort of like a slide. I call it a loading gate because what happens is it seals the bolt to the barrel, so there's not a big gap. This is something, say that for another video. Whatever, I'm here. HDP Compact uses this same system. HDP 50 does not. A gate closes down here. A lot of air is getting out here. There might be something in that Compact yet, but I haven't torn into it. So your load tube or feed tube has some notches in it here that kind of locates it, so I believe it won't spin. Seems pretty straightforward. Your barrel also has two notches in it. Your dent has two kind of, what do you call them, nubs on there. Doesn't seem like anything special about them. So it looks like the nubs just interlock kind of, it's like a double system here. So your barrel interlocks with these two notches, and then these nubs fit into the exo cage. And I think the one last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the air chamber. And then we're gonna cut this video. So there's one last Phillips here. Sorry, not air chamber, the CO2 chamber. I'm just gonna kind of wiggle it up. Wiggle. Yes, is there nothing on the other side, hopefully? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Just a little bit. You do want to be gentle here that you don't. And see, I'm not really lifting, I'm rolling. So I get it up a little bit and roll it. There's two bosses here. Bosses are like locating pins. There's two bosses, and then you can, once you get it lifted off of them, you kind of just slowly and gently wiggle this out. And you can see that O-ring that popped off there. So that is supposed to fit on there like that, and that interlocks with your 2x12, your cylinder here. Okay, so you can pull this out now. What's gonna happen is it's gonna leave this. These are mirrored images, so There's an O-ring and kind of a washer, and there's also a washer and an O-ring on this side, but it's squeezed in this sort of bulkhead here. So maybe I got one more in me here. Gotta undo this back Phillips. Can't really show you too much. Hopefully you can see it. I'm on it right now. This retains, yeah, you know what? What am I doing here? Struggling trying to hold the barrel and stuff. I already showed you guys that. Let's get rid of that stuff. Wow, this thing's going naked. I didn't think I was gonna get far. So I'm kind of holding everything together here. There's a Phillips. There's my little, that tit that fell out. So this Phillips holds the entire air chamber in place. So to remove it, you have to remove this. To get to that valve block that's inside here. Ooh. Oh, and that screw is weird looking. You guys can see that. That is a different looking screw. Now that's a one-off there for sure. So it's got like a washer head on it and super fine. That's like a 1 millimeter screw. I don't know what the fuck you call that, but that's tiny. Don't lose it. Okay, and then just like your standard, you know what, it's time for a drink break here. Oops. And a smoke. Much like the other Umarex markers, you kind of gotta grab this air chamber and compress it just slightly, I think. Now, something I've noticed when I'm doing this, it makes it easier. See the sear? This is your sear. This black thing here, this sear. Right now it's engaged. Well, it's not engaged, but it's in this groove here. It's going to impede the removal of this slightly. So I like to put my whole hand on this thing, put my finger on this sear, and usually, now being careful with this brass tube here, you can kind of lift this guy up. This is the first time, so I'm going to take this trigger off. Nothing in that looks like it's going to fall out, so it's safe to take that out. My hands are greasy. Okay. I don't want this thing to go bouncing everywhere. What am I missing here? I think we're gonna go this way. Okay. We're gonna pull this up gently. Nope, that ain't working. I think this was the struggle that Jeff struggled with in his video. So bear with me here. Looking for an easy route here. Okay. It seems to have gotten under that rather easy. So I use my little pry tool here. And I'm gonna kind of, I don't know if you can see, it's hard to see, but I lift up gently. I think. So I got, okay, the front unlatched first. So that's how we're gonna do it. Came off like this. There is a fat end here. Sorry, a fat, I don't know, whatever you call it, and a skinny end. So, skinny end, the skinny side looks like it goes on your breech port side. So, oh, and also the writing looks to be upright. So if you're looking at your marker correctly, that would be another way to tell. So, interesting. This bolt guide is a lot longer. The HDPs and HDRs, the bolt guide is this right there. This has got a very long guide on it, which is awesome because that means a lot of air is getting to the actual barrel. Okay, so that's off. Now I think there's no tension on this, so it should be rather easy to remove. You got your bolt spring, your bolt, your bumper, which I'm going to replace with a M17 O-ring because it's a little bit fatter. That is nasty looking. That air chamber is nasty. So I'm going to polish that guy up. I'm going to remove this brass tube. Oh, and there's a restrictor inside there. It just carefully, I'm going to, you bugger. Okay, it's trapped by the O-ring. I need a little tool. Okay, so the O-ring and the air chamber. Damn it, what's going on here? Oh, there's a little burr on that I can see already. You guys can't see it, but okay, O-ring, which goes on the end of this brass tube right there. And inside there that's your restrictor. Look at how fucking tiny that thing is, man. How did they even make that? Man, I don't know, you guys can see that. That's like a sea hair hole. So that restrictor is supposed to go into your air chamber like that. So on mine, it's like this. You can see the image is mirrored on both sides, so I don't think it matters which way you flip this tube, but it's important which way you install that restrictor or if you're removing it. What I'm going to be doing is something Arun and I were discussing, and well, I can credit again where credit's due, is mostly his idea, but I love it. It's exactly how I would think, and that's swap this around and put the restrictor on the other side. Now, just allowing this tube as more of a charge area, I know, look how pinner that thing looks. Who knows? But there's no bad ideas, guys. And I think that's it for now. Second part video is gonna be shit. I should just do it now. Where are my snap ring pliers? We're gonna knock the block out of this guy. You can see already I got the wrong size tits in the end of my, oops, they went everywhere. End of my snap ring pliers here. So these snap ring pliers are made by Channel Lock, and they have been the best so far because they come with all these interchangeable tips, which makes it very easy to find what you're looking for. And also they're very flexible, well, not flexible, malleable, these metal ends. So if you got a little tighter hole, you can kind of bend these a little bit. So let's just do this quick. So I'm just locking these fatter ones in there so I don't mar up the chamber. Air chamber. It's tight, but it's not super tight, guys. Once it's loose, I'm pretty sure you can just spin this guy off here. Yep. And this one has a plastic restrictor in it. I didn't bring needle nose or anything like that, but this thing is all completely torn down, so I'm just gonna knock it out. And that's not long enough. Is this thin enough? Yeah, it is. So put a screwdriver down, something that fits down the end. Grab your patience hammer and just tap. Tappity tap tap. Voila! Block removed. Then screw your air chamber cap back in. Don't forget to tighten it. Doesn't have to be kung fu tight. It's sealed with an O-ring. I just kind of snug it up. And on that note, we are going to end this video, and we'll move on to the next, which will be a reassembly. I may include, you know, some close-ups or what have you here. We'll see what happens. My phone, I got a new phone, but these videos eat up a whole crap load of space, and it's still crashing. So, okay, guys, thanks for watching.